Yes, evil computer destroying cats hunger for the power button on the top of my PC tower. I must sate them with cat food. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, I am your host Phontomen. Welcome to today's show. We're back in Limbus Company today, where we evidently have a mystery to solve. I have no idea what's going on at the event, but the imagery is quite telling. It's probably going to be a bunch of morons jumping to conclusions and declaring themselves detectives. I haven't the slightest clue who gave Ryoshu that fake mustache, but yeah, I think we're in for a time here. Right, also, there is a Walpurgis Knot event before the actual story for the event today, but we're gonna skip that. Because I have not actually kept up with that. Right. So, see, there's that, it's a battle, but I have not actually kept up with that whatsoever. So actually, I'm gonna have to go back and review the entire Walpurgis Knot fucking everything, because that I've just not been paying attention to, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at the entire thing. That's for another fucking time, though, and we ain't got the resources or time to do this. So, I'll go get that. Otherwise, yeah, advent. Okay. All right, the sound team is definitely getting their money out of this one. Okay, so... a scandal in time. Oh dear Lord in heaven. Okay, so what's going on now? What's happening now? Oh, it's not voiced either. Dang. Anyway. Don Quixote is laughing. Why is Don Quixote laughing? Don Quixote loudly and obnoxiously flaps through the newspaper in her hands while peppering in a few insightful chuckles. The gremlin is laughing, however, T-Corp has taken that from us too! First it was the color, now it's the sound! Ah! Can't have shit in T-Corp. Unfortunately, I know exactly what this means. And... what is she doing? That she will continue to try and draw my attention until I acknowledge her at the most appropriate moment. Oh, right. Yeah, she's just trying to bait us. Dear manager, please pay attention to me. My chapter is next. I'm about to traumatize the entire player base. Okay, Don Quixote, fine, what is it? She's about to traumatize the player base, but if I know where that's going, it's gonna be also the most it is also going to be the most uplifting thing the player base has seen at the same time. It's gonna be both at the same time. It's gonna be quite the thing. Anyway. Wah, Manager Esquire, does thou. We gotta get into this. Shit, maybe I should sit down and reread the very dense translation of Don Quixote that I have. That's in period English to complement period Spanish. Yeah, that'll definitely get me back into into reading this sort of thing. Know that the city's upstart companies, such as one Limbus company, must always pay close heed to the ever-changing world around us. I mean, yes. They also have to make sure they're not breaking any fucking laws, but our corp doesn't seem to be terribly concerned by that. Hie thee hither, read thy newspapers, Manager Esquire, and do keep thyself up to date on the events of the city, as Mersault and I, Don Quixote, do air every morrow. Okay, so Mersault and Don Quixote read the newspaper, or Mersault reads the newspaper, Don Quixote reads the fucking funnies, I guess. Reads the front page and then goes immediately for the funnies, most likely. But just go along with it, why don't you? I'm pretty sure she's talking about Mersault and one of his morning routines. You know, the one with the newspapers? The newspaper routine. He wakes up before the crack of dawn, parks himself on a chair, folds one leg over the other at exact 90 degrees figure 4 leg lock position and peruses the morning newspaper. I mean, shit, how to have prose and dialogue. Reads it in dad posture, but oh, right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please hold on. I have to get up for a second, but sit here and listen to the jazz for a sec. Nice loop. Way better than hip-hop Chocobo. Good lord. Okay, cat fed. Responsibility's done. Moving on. Back to video games. So what are yeah, so Mersault reads the newspaper in the morning like you would imagine every dad would. This shocks no one, but how to have prose and dialogue. That, I guess it left an impression on her. Betcha she'll be back to her usual self in a week or so. She admired Mersault being the dad? I mean, he's a dad in his novel, no? Apparently, I haven't looked into the Stranger, which is apparently the short story he's from, but apparently it's kind of bizarre to even use that as a source, so I may have to go look into that. I'm also gonna sit down and reread the entirety of Don Quixote just to make sure we're ready for that. It's been a while. I need to be able to see literally all the shit they're doing, even though I don't have to rewatch the play, or rather, revisit the play. There is a movie for it, but it's not a very good one, but it's the play. I know that shit. That shit's well ingrained in my head. The book, not so much. I gotta be able to see literally everything they're doing, but I think I know what they're doing, and it's gonna, A, absolutely shatter the player base. No one's ever gonna smile again until they do by the end of the chapter. Or rather, we could have one of those things where we're harmed by this, and the ultimate resolution is at the end of the story, so we may be only slightly healed. We'll be healed. Maybe not fully, though. I make no promises other than it's going to be probably the entire player base is going to be unhappy. Unhappy in a good way, but also a horrifying way that they may never recover from. I know I'm not making much sense, but you will understand in due time. Hearken unto me. Are thou paying attention? We're trying to figure out what's going on here. Yep, totally. So, what's new? What did an article mention? What, did an article mention us or something? Oh, how did us know? We kinda guessed. Wait, really? Forsooth, feast thy eyes on page 3, though 'tis quite regrettable that we were robbed of the chance to be on the front page. We'll be the front page of all the newspapers in this city, one of these days. Probably for terrible reasons that we'll probably regret, but one of these days. Huh, page 3, we're really starting to put our names out there, huh? Yeah, thanks, Rodin. Don Quixote and Rhodia, the two sinners who are guaranteed to draw the full attention of whichever space they inhabit. We all remember chapter 2. We all remember exactly what happened in chapter 2. We're speaking. It was only a matter of time before the other sinners began crowding around us, curious about the commotion. We're making a whole lot of commotion out of absolutely nothing now, but then again, we kind of know we're in the newspaper. So, but why are we in the newspaper? Ahem. A dramatic conclusion to the mysterious disappearances at T-Corp. Did we solve the mystery? Also, I know that's an abbreviation, and that's probably correct, but a period right before an exclamation point. That's probably grammatically correct, but that looks very weird. Shocking. The perpetrators to this mysterious case have been revealed to be none other than the prestigious Elgar family. Oh. Appalling the general public. And then everything got blamed on everyone but the, Heathcliff's family. Great, fantastic. Great, someone else's name is ruined. Fantastic. Linton takes the fall for literally everything. Great. Well, I don't think we need to hear that part. What else does it say? With small assistance from wandering bystanders who happen to be lost in the area, and with the most admirable heroics of the T-Corp Class 3 collection staff on the scene. Wait, what? Wandering bystanders? Is it perchance that particular denomination refers to us? Possibly. I mean, the Edgar family is the only one still alive in terms of bloodline, and they were the ones who did the kidnapping. Because they were, but whatchamacallit, what's his face? Never mind. It's in the past now, remember? We deleted all of that! Actually, it doesn't exist! That past literally didn't happen! Hindley was still alive, but we cleared the cache. The account information doesn't exist anymore. Doesn't matter, moving on. That wasn't an intentional bit, but I couldn't remember Hindley for a second there, but no, actually that's intentional. All of that was deleted. Moving on. None of that shit exists anymore. I mean, the kidnappings did happen, we just don't have the changed history as to why. Yeah, so why did Linton and Hindley do that then, if Catherine doesn't exist? But then again, they're not alive to tell us, so maybe Catherine just maybe it's an intentional inconsistency because Catherine just up and deleted everything and didn't really fix anything, and no one's alive but Heathcliff to actually understand what the fuck happened. Well, there's also, Nellie, but Nellie's probably not gonna fucking say anything. But also who? Right? That name, who? Literally who? Catherine who? Bystanders? They're treating us like we were barely there. Well, we did stop a mugging, and that was basically the only thing we saw. We stopped a mugging, and that was basically the only thing we did, so. They didn't even mention our company name. They probably didn't. We didn't say it! Oh, come on, those time collectors weren't even there. Guys, we didn't. Guys, we specifically didn't say who we were to that guy that we rescued. How are we all? Do we remember the beginning? Well, actually, it's fresh in my mind because we just did it. But We specifically hid our identities! History abhors a paradox. Yes, but stupid people don't think about things. It's not necessarily a paradox, because we know the correct information and it's not a paradox. However, it was altered by literally who using the golden bow. So it was deleted, but also all of the other people that were connected to it are dead. So this is a paradox, and it's kind of ugly, but we know it's not a paradox because we saw the entire thing and remember it. Well, Heath and me do. Everybody else forgot it. This is within the expected range of behavior for the news media. You know what? I'm saving that. I'm taking a screenshot. That is exploitable as fuck. That. I'm taking that. That's exactly that's on the same level of exploitable as it's dangerous to go alone. Here, take this breast. We still haven't properly used that yet, but I still have that on file. That one's exploitable. We're stealing that. Thank you, writing team. Well, there may be those who seek to interview us after reading this very article, mayhaps. They don't know who we are. Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a grand old time looking for wandering bystanders for an interview. Very descriptive. I doubt anyone will pay us much attention, Don Quixote. Better not set yourself up for disappointment, and don't worry, disappointment will find us in the next chapter. Again, no one's gonna smile ever again, but we will smile at the end of it. Man, that's gonna be a thing. We're gonna have plenty of disappointment, and oh, hey, look, an actual T-Corp official. We're standing there for a good moment in a big group, chattering about the article, when someone slowly but smoothly walked between us. Excuse me, would you be employees of Limbus Company? You fellas are... I'm sure you're already aware of the reason for our visit. Huh? Oh, I welcome thee here. Long and hard have I awaited thy arrival. Yes, the lord of this castle here, this incredibly dreary kingdom that we sit in with, lack of color and sepia everywhere. Abundance of sepia! They have finally come to meet it. They have recognized our heroism. How many medals are we getting? Says Don Quixote. Now, from whence shall we begin? Whoa, is she actually here to interview us? She, wait a minute. No way, Don Quixote wasn't just losing her mind at nothing? Or no way. What? I was not told of any interview. I was not told any interview would be taking place. My, where'd Verd go at a time like this? Now, where'd I put that leftover hair gel from Heath's makeover? The district manager has returned to corporate headquarters to renegotiate his contract. This is why the district manager stepping in to help minor franchises is a rare occurrence. It's very, very disruptive to corporate's intentions. Ahem. Thou may commence. All right then. Done. Verily, I shan't rightfully take all the credit for what we have accomplished there. Will you be making your tax payment in installments? Eh? They've come to collect the taxes. Stranger, you are exactly right. They've come for the taxes. Hmm? Huh? Are? Okay, we're clearly not on the same page here. We are the tax collectors from T-Corp's Time Collections Agency. Currently on a mission to collect your overdue time tax. Time is no longer on your side. Those ilks are never bringers of good tidings, indeed. Wait, time tax? No, that doesn't make any sense. We already paid our time tax in full when we went through the T-Corp Nest immigration process. Vergilius said a few days ago, aboard Mephistopheles, on the bus. Are you sure we don't need to pick up a time piece for each of us to carry? You probably know this already, but in T-Corp, everyone must carry a timepiece. Yes, I know the rules. But for every rule, there's always room for an alternative that offers a bit more flexibility. Of course, I don't suppose it's listed anywhere on that pamphlet. Vergilius, what have you done? Outsiders seeking a short-term stay at T-Corp can pay the appropriate time tax for the length of their stay to be exempt from the relevant obligations, instead of going out of their way to abide by T-Corp's rules. Let me guess, we didn't actually pay that upfront installment. As you may have expected, anyone born outside District 20 must go through numerous hoops before they can be issued a timepiece. So we elected to pay 30 days worth of time tax on the spot before entering T-Corp's borders. Okay, well then there shouldn't be any problems then. Heath inherited the mansion. He has to pay taxes? Oh god, he has to pay taxes on the land! Oh god. He has to pay taxes on the inheritance. Shit. But we did, apparently. Source, trust me, bro. Impressive, it can't have been cheap. Ah, yet I wish to wear a watch as well, like Lady Otis does. Haven't I already made it clear that it's not a fashion item? You make it a fashion item, Otis? That must be why everyone, you know, that must be why everyone wants to fuck Otis. Now there's Hag, but she also makes fashion statements. As I have said in the past, the company has no budgetary concerns. It is a given that they would be taking care of such expenses. We're finally starting to operate like a real professional company now, huh? Yes, but we have absolutely no idea how Limbus Company is what it is, and how it has such amazing, amazingly deep coffers. At some point, we're gonna figure out why, and we're probably not gonna like the answer. Again, I cannot help to ask where that money comes from, as would I, but we've seen the other components of Limbus Company, and, yeah, they seem like a proper corporation in this world, but they're not a corporation yet, anyway. So, where are they getting all this money from? But again, we're gonna find out the answer, and I don't think anyone's gonna like the answer. Damn, blank checks, and yet we had to build the bus boat from scraps? Yeah, you see, here's the thing. It's rather obvious to everyone in the audience at this point, but I don't think everybody in, every magical individual on the magic school bus has put this together, but emotional trauma is part of the process of getting these fucking wish twigs. So that's probably why they're trying to, basically, forcing us to break our ass to do things and having people walk into exactly the situations they don't want to walk into. This is part of the process for the golden bows for some reason. We're not exactly sure, but so the main reason why Vergilius probably wasn't allowed to step in was because that would be cheating and there wouldn't be enough emotional trauma to harvest out of this process. Or rather, something wouldn't be correct about the golden bows if we did it like that, but we did it anyway this time. So, select combat data I don't know. Clearly, they get all the money from people paying into the gacha. I mean, yes, but we get so much free lunacy, though. They don't make any money. Faust and Yisang's inventions, no doubt. Well, Faust most likely. Yisang, I don't think Yisang has actually done anything for Limbus Company yet, anyway. But obviously we know that Yisang, well, enhanced the mirror to what it is now in the story, so... we really don't know how this company behind us is doing any of this shit. The only thing we do is hunt wish twigs. Corporation and company is very different. This game is the first time we see something labeled company. Everything was either labeled a corp, office, or association. Who knows how rich or powerful a company is? Yeah, we don't, but we don't know that, and obviously company is below corporation, as we're seeing right now. And Limbus Company, as the, you know, from the last event, they were attempting to style themselves, rebrand themselves as anti-abnormality specialists. That's what Limbus Company is publicly doing now. That's the new marketing pitch. The question is, though, how the fuck did we get there in the first place? Where did this company come from? Who's funding this company? How did they know about the wish twigs? How did any of this come to be? Like, we don't know any of this because it's not important for us to know right now, but something tells me we'll find out eventually. And, we're not gonna like the answer. Someone's probably gonna explain the statement, a friend is an enemy and an enemy is a friend in Limbus Company, and we're probably not gonna like what that means. Someone's probably gonna explain what the fuck that means, and we're probably not gonna like the answer. Anyway. It's likely aiming to take over Nest L. More than likely, obviously. We're attempting to... Limbus Company, Lobotomy Corporation, we're attempting to probably take over that spot. Because it's probably still vacant. Which is why we're rooting around in the fucking ruins of the old L Corp, most likely. I don't know how we got onto the wish twig thing, but maybe that was the plan, right? So we're basically looting the corpse of Limbus Company, and somehow they found out about the wish twigs. Yeah, there must have been a minor miscalculation or something. Maybe we fell slightly short of the amount we had to pay. It hasn't even been 30 days since we arrived here, though. Yeah, the battle pass is still up. Well, I'm sure we can pawn away their stuff to fix what probably amounts to a rounding error. Easy peasy. I mean, we have that entire mansion up on the fucking hill. We can probably sell Wuthering Heights. Who the fuck wants that place? Like I said while we were doing the chapter, more than likely the richest salt mine in all of England sits under that mansion for how much shit goes on there. Also, hey, I just noticed. Heathcliff's bat says remember now. That almost slid right past me. Wait a minute. Hey! The timeline has changed. Huh. Heathcliff muttered, gesturing towards Sinclair and Hong Lu with his chin. It's been that way since the last mini-episode. I didn't watch the last mini-episode, so I didn't catch that, because the whole fucking... I need to do the whole Walpurgis Knock thing correctly. Yeah, so I have gaps with Walpurgis Knock, so we skipped it because I'm gonna go through the entire thing properly and actually learn what the fuck actually happens, so I've been missing those minis left and right. I've done like one of them. If it'll help pay for the tax time, then sure. Oh, maybe? I didn't pack much when I left, though. Let's hear the damage. How much time tax do we owe you? Currently, you are probably hilariously in debt. 10 billion? 40 million on behind in tax time payments. $10 billion. Yeah, it's definitely a rounding error. Man, that's a mighty big rounding error. So either Limbus Company didn't get didn't pay up when they were supposed to, or somebody fucked up the paperwork. I wouldn't put it past ye olde England here to fuck that one up. Or someone took our money. Is that the mystery? Is that the entire mystery? Who the fuck took our money? Who took our money and didn't pay it to the meant for the authorities and ran away with it? Who embezzled our funds? Yeah, it's quite large. That's a lot of zeros. Did my hearing get worse or something? I heard a 10, a 40, and the rest just kind of flew right over my head. $10 billion! For that much money, oh, we might have to make a brief stop at my place for... Don't worry, guys. We just need to go back to my place and get a wallet. Yeah, rich boy. Mm-hmm. Fabulously rich boy. The conversion rate is 7 million USD, give or take $1 million. Uh-huh. What other options do we have? If we don't, I mean, if we can't pay the tax... Can't pay the tax is not an option. Your only options are the following. Make your payment with time or money. Money. With interest, of course. Oh, great. Compound interest. Fantastic. What the hell does making payment with time even mean? It means we literally take years off your fucking life. Now that I think about it, I remember someone talking about paying with time before. I never really cared to find out what exactly they meant, though. Yes, because we skipped over that because we were getting on with the story. So now now we're getting on to the whole timey-wimey mechanics of how T-Corp functions. But my assumption is that we take literal years off your life. Yisang, Heathcliff, you know anything about this? I have not once failed to make my payments during my residency at the Nest. Thus, I know not what transpires on an occasion in which one fails to pay the time tax. I've never been involved in messy business like taxes at the manor either. And in my backstreets days, boss dealt with complicated shite like that for the rest of us. I did see a few poor sods getting dragged away because they failed to cough it up, though. Well then, that's a problem. With their not-so-helpful answers, my mind immediately began to wander towards Faust, who I hoped would know something more about this than the two of them. And that's when Otis suddenly and defiantly stood between us and the collectors. This is completely unreasonable. What kind of shoddy calculations led to this nonsensical figure? Tax calculations in T-Corp are always exceptionally reasonable. That's exactly what a 100% totally self-regulating organization would say, right? This organization, which is designed to regulate and monitor itself, investigated itself and found no wrongdoing. Yep, that's totally legit. The clock's ticking. Would I be correct to assume you lacked both the capability and the will to make fair payments? The will? The fuck? Wait, we don't have to escalate this. Can we get a timeout? Your choice of words may be quite unwise. Might not have been the greatest thing to say there. Let's keep the time puns to a minimum. Try and whine all you want about not wanting to escalate the things when you've got 10 billion on in your pockets. I won't recognize your opinion as anything of worth otherwise. No, then shut up and stay out of our way while we deal with this obstacle that dares stand in our path. Otis, kill mode. How exciting, a 10 billion on death. Debt. Ryoshu, debt. Not death, debt. 10 billion and 40 million on, to be exact. Okay, so now we have to punch the tax collector. I mean, okay, we can handle this. Okay, I suppose this is for grinding? Clear within 10 terms. Effective if it pierce. Oh, that's lovely. Do you know why? Because I'm already experimenting with builds for Don Quixote for the next chapter, and it's Pierce-based. So, so if Pierce is required for this oh, that's very good. Okay. So that means I get to employ this stupid contraption. Okay, so the joke here is we need to use base Dawn. However, I don't have every identity in the fucking game. So what I've done is I've made a Pierce bleed team because Pierce. Also, Don Quixote has mechanics that, you know, her third skill has a mechanic where if she's over 10 speed, she gets extra clash power. I'm not quite sure how to fix that, or rather, how to get that to work properly, but that means we need Yi Sang in here for haste spamming. There's also a couple of other things around here because she has a self-heal, and we have 2 instances of Pursuance in here. But there's a problem here in that we don't have any Gloom aside from with Yi Sang, but Yi Sang has a little funny thing about it.
제가 원하는 대로 베어버려도 되나요?
Pierce and Tremor are your friend here. I assumed by seeing the event identities be based around Tremor, which also might mean that the next chapter is also based around Tremor.
기다리는 거 못해. 100초만 기다려줄게.
The last dungeon is 80 clocks per run with no modifiers. Oh, so there is a dungeon. Okay. Okay, so the whole idea behind this, or the major operating factor behind this, is always getting 3 lust skills, which is possible. This does a couple of funny things. If we get Lust Resonance, Don Quixote does more damage, Ryoshu does more damage to targets with bleed, which isn't quite necessary now, but will become helpful. We also activate Whispers for Faust, which I found is incredibly fucking useful for maintaining sanity in this build. Meaning that we can spam things like the Blood of Sancho, which gives even more bleed and self-healing for Don Quixote, every fucking turn, and there's no problem. So, this is not complete, but I think I've got something here. Honglu's new identity can fucking shred when it gets going. Interesting. I haven't really looked at it, but I saw that the Ryoshu ID and Honglu's ID are both Tremor based, which means that the next chapter might be Tremor, like the current chapter, like, you know, chapter 6 was, whatchamacallit, Sinking based. So that might be giving us a hint, but I kind of expected Pierce. However, the problem is that we have a bit of a struggling in here, but that's okay because we can just, right, no. I still need to upgrade Honglu to tier 3 for that. Oops. We need to work on that. Okay, so there's nobody else? No. However, well, we need that damage, though. So Honglu's probably gonna take an oof here, but there's a lot of healing going on here. Bigger numbers. Okay, so the entire thing here is, oh, they have a status effect. Interesting. Okay, so the entire thing more or less is spraying bleed all over the targets. Not necessarily because the status effect will do a lot of damage, but because they all have the status effect of bleed, meaning that Ryoshu will do shit tons of damage to them, and Don Quixote can self-heal off of them. And also with, you know, Mersault and Rodion being N-Corp, they do nails, which turns into bleed. So, nearly everybody in this arrangement does bleed. Hey boss, guess what? We're going on a warp train next interlude. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, turn end. Gain 1 haste, clash power up, and fragility next turn. At count 1, gain, oh. If this unit has more bind than it has haste, the borrow time effect expires and this unit gets staggered. Oh, so you want to use bind. That I am not prepared to do. That's interesting. So, clock go down, unit get more powerful. Understood. However, I would need bind to stop that, which... Shit, the only thing I know I can use... Well, there's some of the butler identities that do bind and egos that do bind as well, like whatchamacallit, pink ribbons, or pink shoes. So, Okay. Interesting. Complicated, but also interesting. But okay, so... That's her best attack, but also, as you can see with Don Quixote here, at 10 plus speed, coin power 2, which is very good. The problem is, getting her up to 10 speed is quite difficult, and something tells me that that's gonna get changed later. Like, as maybe like up tie 5, that's gonna get easier to proc. So, don't know about that one, but we're probably gonna see that after Chapter 7. But, Don Quixote has a couple of funny mechanics about her base Dawn, and basically what I'm going to be doing is trying to perfect a base Dawn build, so we go through Chapter 7 with base Dawn. Yes, I'm going to try that. Yes, I'm fucking crazy. Okay, that's a better roll at the dice, though, so we're going to do that. But however, we have to get that, and then... This is awful, but, it's Mersault, so we don't care. However... amount of resources is going to be, I'll need to uptie all my, uptie 5 all my IDs. Yeah, no, it's probably going to be soul crushing. However, another funny thing here. You see, Pursuance requires glue. This team doesn't really produce all that much glue, but it do. Yisang's Dodge produces gloom on demand, so that one gloom we need for Mersault's Pursuance, I can get whenever the fuck I want. So this is not exactly fantastic, but there's a lot of self-healing going on here.
거치적거리지만 마. 끝이.
Ow.
그래서 카론이 안전벨트 잘하라고 했잖아.
Okay, so we have a lack of sloth and pride. How much do we need for pursuance again? It's... Actually, we have enough pride. Okay, so we need 3 sloth. And then we can get a self-heal. Additionally, Rodion needs... Yeah. Rodion's pursuance is about the same, though I haven't had this... This is not nearly uptied. This isn't uptied at all, I think. So that's just... The resources shuffled around a bit. So... This might be a bit touchy, but I think it's probably a good idea if we start spamming resources here. However... Okay, so... Don got staggered. That's not good. We can save that, though. Okay, so... Wait, actually... Right, so Chef Greg's self-heal is up. So that's good. So there's a little bit of self-heal going in here already. We do need gluttony for relay intelligence. That's another thing as well, because that means we do more damage when we do lots of damage. So, right, so we're gonna have to make a tough choice here, but we should not need pursuance just yet. So this is, as you're seeing, this is me starting to actually play the game a little bit more intelligently. Like, oh fuck, I'm gaming passives and defense moves to gain more sin resource. Whoa, big brain. It's not really that much big brain, but it's getting there. Unfortunately, shit, that's struggling. And I really would rather not take more damage, so we're gonna have to duck that one. You're just gonna do, you're gonna counter. That's what you're gonna do.
재미는 없겠지만 그렇게 할게요.
Not countered. Good. Not staggered. Fantastic. That's not good, though. Now he's staggered. Ow. That's a problem.
그래서 카론이 안전벨트 잘하라고 했잖아.
Okay, so Donna's alive. Okay, so now we can just start fucking spamming the blood of Sancho every turn. Lifetime Stew has a passive that turns other resources into lust, which is dangerous, but you can actually utilize Lifetime Stew in this arrangement because we're generating primarily lust. But now we just spam the blood of Sancho every fucking turn now, as long as we have the resources for it. Ah, and another thing we can do. Right, so burn, well, actually bind. Right, bind. And hey, look, there's 3 lust cards down there now. Hey, bonus damage. Okay, so this would probably be better just because, you know, we win the engagement. Can we do that? Actually, we can skate by on that one and hopefully call out pursuance because we kind of need it. So that goes in there, that goes in there, that goes in there, and everybody's doing more damage, and the sanity is now counteracted. Again, this is a little fucking, you know, Rube Goldberg device of getting shit done. It's not perfect, but I'll have time to work on it. And also, I don't have the best identities for literally everything, so I'm working with what I've got right now. Would I like Blade Lineage Mersault? Oh yes I would, but I don't fucking have him. So I've gotta fucking deal with it. Okay, so what is your, it's rad. No, I need that Sin resource, but your Bane Salt, you can handle the hit. Okay, and so this has a passive, which means that Don Quixote now self-heals off of people with bleed. And that actually did a fair amount of damage, too. That actually would do more damage if Otis's passive was active, but we need Gluttony for that as well. So there's a lot fucking going on here, and I think this is functional. Okay, narrowly avoiding the stagger there. That's slash and not pierce, but it'll do. Yeah, it was mostly for the bind, which now will help her do more damage here.
야호, 이기는 편.
Oh, he's self-heal. You cocks. Well, I can do that too. 2 could play that fucked up game. 2 could play that stupid fucking game. Let's go. Okay, so what do we have here? We've got... I'll examine this. We want more gluttony, though. Okay, so let's see here. These are both terrible, but... Okay, so what if we do... Does that help us at... Actually, it does. Would that help... That wouldn't help us. That's still terrible. So this attack, awful. He's gonna heal, though, most likely. So we'll grab... We need the pride, but we only need 2 pride, so that's fine. This, we'll grab this to flip on all the passives again. And then... Okay, so... That, and we might actually go for the Gluttony card. Which means that we would have... 2 Gluttony. Yep. Well, actually, no, we'd have 3. So we're 1 short. That can wait. So we can get 2 Gluttony. That's next fucking turn. I could get 2 Gluttony this turn, but I'm not going to. Unfortunately, man, that Clash power is awful. But thankfully, Mersault. Well, we killed one. And fortunately, Hong Lu died. Very bad. That's survivable, but still pretty terrible. Good.
숨기기 조용해졌어. 조금 있다. 째깍째깍 해줘야 돼.
So as you can see, not fantastic, but totally workable. But again, we just keep spamming this every turn now. Okay, so that's... Look, we need... Okay, they both suck. And we also need... Actually, no, so we need... That's our... If we survive this term, that's our 2 Gluttony, and this is going to be pretty terrible, but we should be able to get away with it. That means our power is amplified. We have enough pride for another Pursuance pop, and this is going to give us enough Sloth for another Pursuance pop too? Yes! Good. So, that's fine and dandy. That 1 card in there is pretty terrible, that we could probably... Could we... No, we need that. We'll be fine.
참여하게 되리라.
Yeah, the next fight leads up. Next fights lead up to the dungeon are less ball breaking. Good.
정의는 승리한다.
So this is not at 100%, but you see I've got something here. It's a whole lot more fucking brainy than the shit I usually do, right? I am actually using mechanics! And this man is now dead. Taxes are unjust! Taxation is theft! Poke.
검을 덜 갈았었나?
Once again, it's Bane Salt. What are you going to do? The man has the man can actually sit there taking damage to farm those resources.
야호. 이기는 편, 우리 편.
Okay, so now we have Otis's I do more damage when I do things that are you're weak to, which is fantastic. They're all fucking dead. We lost one guy, but here's the thing. Kurakumo Honglu is not at full capacity. As you see, his defense doesn't have a sin element, so he's not up to 4. You can already tell. But hey, we have speed now, not that we needed it. So this is a lot of random chance here, but it can be done. Also, what are we short on for? Oh, right, the gloom. But, oh well. I didn't catch the gloom. That's probably what I should have did last round. That would have required a dodge, but there it is. That's the primary effect making everything work properly. Also, we've got, right, Sang's thing, which I'm not entirely sure how to wield this properly, but hey, it's there, and he's also using charge this turn. Empty Thought, I'm not exactly sure how to properly get to work. It's somewhat weird. But hey, free shield. You're dead! You are also dead. There it is. So, Yi-Sang was at full blast there because Otis was helping him, and then he activated his passive as well. So that, you see, it works! It's kind of clunky. There are IDs that give charge, I mean egos, like Telepole. Telepole, or otherwise known as the one ego that fixed charged builds. So I know about that one. It's just that I'm working with a lot of things. I'm working with character ID passives, I'm working with defense maneuvers, I'm working with passives for egos, which I typically don't do. You know me, I'm a caveman when I play this game. Now I'm trying to not be a fucking caveman. Warpsang will either give him a shield on kill or afflict a special rupture. Oh, is that how that works? Okay. A T-Corps staff in a different uniform approached the sinners as both sides went on the defensive. However, you can kind of understand why I'm being so caveman, because really, the game at launch was extraordinarily caveman. You didn't need to do any of this. In fact, passives were so, like, prohibitively expensive, like, prohibitively hard to get, and also minimally useful that no one gave a shit. Now we do. The game has changed. It's just that it's really only changed like 5 minutes ago, honestly. Is this one their ringleader? He may be of a higher rank, but he is an employee of T-Corp all the same. Which is to say that our insistence on meeting their demands with hostility may lead to a direct confrontation against the full force of T-Corp. Yeah, we know about this one. Hey guys, remember the last time we did this to a nest? Lay down your weapons now. No. Should you refuse to cooperate, all of you present may be considered hostile individuals by T-Corp, and we will use force to... I like that, how thrilling. Joke's on you, I'm aroused by that thought. Thanks, Ryoshu. Ah, this is bad. Yes, it is bad. This seems like a great time for Vergilius, with his intimidating glowing eyes, to appear. Thank you, Marcel. Man, weren't things much better between us and the guy Bud only a few days ago? Feels like it's been forever since then. He's standing right there. Come on, don't glare at us like that. We had our reasons, Kay. They showed up out of nowhere and tried to extort a whole 10 billion on. 10 billion and 40 million on to be extended. How are you still breathing? You really like saying that, don't you? Jeez, I practiced in front of the mirror all morning. Yeah, the point is, there's no way we owe them that much money. We're kind, law-abiding citizens beating the shit out of the tax collectors. Who aren't brimming with a sense of justice. Yes, taxation is theft. Poke. Here. Vergilius listened quietly for a moment as the sinners chattered on like they were part of a comedy skit. Isn't that this whole game? That's been this whole game. I mean, we do have moments of genuine drama and really emotionally moving stuff, but the major attraction for this game is that this is someone's retarded D&D party murder hoboing through a quest. That's... Chapter 2 makes this abundantly fucking clear that this is somebody's D&D campaign. And it's great. Yes, I agree that 10 billion on in taxes does seem unreasonable. However, it is a mystery to me how no one stopped to think for a second about the troubles you might spark by starting a meaningless scuffle like this. In the middle of the street, no less. It is of this is the mystery. How are you so retarded? Ah, that's the mystery! How is everyone this dumb? We need to find out. Yeah. Vergilius let out a deep sigh before turning towards the T-Corp employee. We find it regrettable that this incident has led to bloodshed. However, 10 billion on in time tax is unacceptable. I'm sure you know full well that 10 billion on's worth of taxes isn't the kind of money that we can simply fork over in the middle of the street. I believe that it would have been more appropriate if you had provided us with some context as to how this number came to be, instead of immediately marching up to us and demanding that we pay the time tax. Yeah, that was kind of really... Who the fuck is walking around with that much? I mean, I know we technically own Wuthering Heights now, but who the fuck walks around with that much money? I admit such absurd amount of time tax levied upon your group is almost unprecedented. We have been summoned to an emergency meeting in a relevant office to address the severity of this incident. I see your point. Why don't we move this conversation to the collection office in the relevant jurisdiction area for now to discuss possible solutions? This would be ideal. Oh, so now everyone... Yeah, sure, we're murdering psychopaths, but that's normal. We're murder hobos. These people are upright officials from the IRS. They don't have any excuses to be murder hobos. I don't care how much industrial era England, industrial revolution England this is. You guys don't have excuses. This is normal for us. Vergilius is probably the DMPC desperately tried to keep the plot on track. Exactly. Vergilius is totally a DMPC who is there to make sure that somehow the plot maintains consistency so that the party murder hobos accidentally correctly in the right direction. But yeah, it's one of the major points of this game. That's why it's good. It's a bunch of people who made D&D characters based on characters from very well-known novels, and they've made them all murder hobos. Okay, so what's going on with our rewards here? Okay, so this is at the top of the board here. We got a sepia tone background. Very nice. Okay, so wow, shit, that's actually not that much. Wait, so I have. Huh. Well, hang on. Oh, there's... Oh! Wait, really? Oh, it's a Blue Archive event shop. Oh! That's what that is. Okay, I've seen this before. I've played Blue Archive. Okay, so this is a farm the event for resources, or farm missions for resources, and then come in here and buy stock rather than going in a chain of objectives. This is a Blue Archive event. It was like this in the Blade Lineage event, too. I missed this, but okay, it's a Blue Archive event. Right. I missed the Blade Lineage event. We had to go marching through the story, but I missed the actual event itself. So, it's a Blue Archive event. Okay. But, speaking of that, 1 coin into the wishing well, please. Absolutely fucking nothing. Though we do need the, I need a lot of shards. I need a lot of fucking shards. Anyway, we're gonna save our 10 pull though. We're gonna save our 10 pull though, because I might need it in order to get through this. So we'll blow all our money after I'm done with the event story, or rather when we get to the dungeon. This is gonna really help you catch back up at resources. Yep, most likely, because oh dear God, do I need to do mirror dungeon runs, but I need resources, I need shards, I need thread, I need basically fucking everything. However, unfortunately, I also need identities that I don't fucking have, so that's another problem. However, as you can see, the build that I have for a team, I think I can walk into Chapter 7 and I'll be alright. It's probably gonna be excruciating, because using a base identity in any build for this is usually excruciating. However, I'll probably make it as it is right now, but we want to make it better, of course. So, as we go, I really wish this was voiced, though. But unfortunately, I know why it's not voiced, because they have to keep a fucking schedule, and the voice acting was the major detriment to the schedule. Even though I don't understand Korean, having everybody's, presentation and tone of voice in the room was rather helpful. It also meant that I didn't have to fucking read everything aloud. Damn! Oh well, it's my job. Is this a Persona game now? That's what this sounds like. The truth behind the absurd amount of tax time levied upon us was much simpler than I expected. We fucked up the numbers. About a week ago, a large-scale unauthorized temporal leakage phenomenon was observed at the Wuthering Heights Manor, which shot you up several stages in progressive time use tax what? Shot you up several stages in the progressive time use tax bracket due to the immense amount of time leak. What fucking... Okay, so abnormalities are a new thing that no one quite knows how to deal with, but these people have a fucking progressive time tax bracket for distortions. Ah, yes, you've done time dilation. I'm sorry, now you're making like $500,000 a year. We're gonna have to bill you more. Hey boss, how fast do you think you can read? Fast, but not accurately. I mean, time is their thing, yes, and they're clearly trying to make money off it any way they possibly can. It refers to a deceleration in the flow of time within a certain physical field. In your case, it wasn't even a static deceleration field, it moved all over the manor for a good while, too. We measured about 4 hours worth of time in the process. What the bloody hell is she blathering about? That entire event, though it may have taken like fucking, days to our perspective, was only about 4 hours here. A deceleration in the flow of time within a certain... she must be referring to the moment during which Dante granted us celerity as we were in pursuit of the time that I haven't used my fucking command seals yet, thank you. I haven't once used my damn command seals. They're right here. My servants are still under control. Yes, I know the rules of command seals too. I'm not an amazingly adept Fate player, mainly because the Nasuverse, they just bring shit up to break them 5 minutes later anyway, so it's almost not worth learning rules. But I know how command seals work, and I didn't fucking use them. Impossible. The manager's ability was activated for less than 30 minutes. It was most likely that your 4-hour measurement is a calculation error. No. Considering the odd sensation we had experienced as we departed the manor, it is most probable that no error had occurred in their calculations. Do you recall, Dante, as we left behind the manor? A few days ago. Aha, Mersault, is there aught wrong with thy daily routine? We had just returned to Mephistopheles after the incident at Wuthering Heights Manor. Okay. Most sinners were keeping to themselves given the clear look of sorrow on Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote's ever-cheerful voice, like always, constantly shattered through the silence. It still says revenge here. We haven't gotten to that yet. I have identified an anomaly. We should have been issued the morning newspaper, not the evening newspaper. This is inconsistent with the amount of time we spent at the manor. Perchance 'tis was an innocent mistake. Oh yeah, right, we're still back here where we have the evening newspaper. Right, that was still a fucking thing. We're going back that far. FGO is the worst gacha. I will never forgive them for the travesty of a pity system. Gee, it's almost like it's designed to milk you. It is. So does Nikkei, and I still get more out of it. Yeah, Nikkei gives you... Yeah, Nikkei does give you more fat jiggling ass. Yes. A soul-crushing story. I think you mean soul-crushing titty and ass, sir. I harbor no ill will towards Nikkei, though. It's a fine game, I just don't have fucking time for yet another one of these. I put my lot here with Limbus Company until further fucking notice. Perhaps we can find perhaps when we complete this game story, we can go somewhere else, but for now, no. We're here on this bus. As long as I have been a passenger of this bus, morning papers have always been delivered during designated morning hours, and evening papers have always been delivered during designated evening hours. Mersault, that doesn't mean someone can't make a mistake, but okay. The possibility that they have made a mistake cannot be completely ruled out. However, the likelihood of that is minuscule. Oh, now that I'm looking at it, that's a sunset, not a sunrise. I couldn't tell because of the lack of color. This cannot be. This must be the early hours of the morrow, is it not? I may have an idea as to how this inconsistency came to be. Right, the TT4 protocol. What's that? Temporal velocity synchronization device or something like that. I've seen an advert for it once, a luxury solution to all your time synchronization needs. Enjoy equally leisurely hours together, or some shite like that. Heathcliff memorized a fucking brochure out of nowhere. 'Tis quite unlike thee, Sir Heathcliff, to use so many complicated words in a sentence. Pray, shall someone explain it in plainer language? Heathcliff, that was amazing. However, I understood absolutely none of it. Can somebody dumb that down? Heathcliff, can you dumb that down? Is an apparatus for equalizing the velocity of time for all those affected individuals under the TT4 protocol influence. Forsooth, I thought it was quite odd how someone so affluent in time was moving and speaking at the same speed as the rest of us. Then with this information, it could be concluded that the time we have experienced within the manor was flowing at a faster rate than the world outside. That is a coherent explanation as to why the evening newspaper instead of the morning newspaper was issued. Mystery solved. We've done it! Event over. The event is over! Mystery solved! See you next episode! Don confirmed dumber than Heath. Yeah, that's not much of a surprise. Frankly, Dawn is at the level of stupid to maintain her sanity. That's kind of Don Quixote in general as a character, as an archetype, but probably even more so here as Dawn exists in the city. Dawn has to be fucking mentally unwell to be Dawn here. Good. Now that your curiosity is sated, I don't suppose anyone has any issues with tackling a new job. The LCA has sent us a new request to track down a distortion. As for more detailed information, so activating my ability within the TT4 protocol caused, yes, indeed. It was akin to tampering with an already accelerated flow of time from an outsider's point of view. It would have appeared as though more time than what was actually spent was leaked. Okay, so someone hit the rewind and we said, no, fuck that, and hit fast forward. And it wasn't really moving at a normal pace at that point. This bloke knows what he's talking about. Also, you didn't just manipulate time on a personal scale. Like I said earlier, you affected the flow of time within a physical space. Let me remind you that it wasn't even a static field. It moved all over the manor. Honestly, this situation is completely unprecedented. I mean, yeah, we kinda... Did you see what the fuck happened? Actually, no, you didn't. Of course you wouldn't. They were literally... Is anyone gonna investigate what the fuck R-Corp was doing? Oh no, we'd seen in taxes. R-Corp was progressing very, very close to the end of Ava ending down there. No one's gonna look into that. No, the government needs their money. No, that whatever the fuck Nerve is doing underneath that, you know, in their geofront, we don't give a shit. N-Corp. R-Corp is the PMC. Right, no, but in general, no one's gonna investigate what everyone else was doing down there? That wasn't orders of magnitude work? No, okay, no, Gendo Ikari escapes investigation yet again. He can't keep getting away with it. He will keep getting away with this. Right, they used to activate it only on special occasions, like when we had plenty of guests over for a visit, because it was so bloody pricey. So the time tax for your inflated tax bracket multiplied by the surtax per volume of the physical space covered by that temporal manipulation. Yeah, no wonder it all adds up to an insane number. Well, you see, ladies and gentlemen, this entire calculation is why taxation is theft, because they're really just trying to imagine fees out of nowhere. But hey, apparently, evidently, you know, as aside from real-world politics, apparently Donald Trump was at a GOP dinner, and he floated the idea to several people there that he would abolish the income tax and replace it with trade tariffs. So we just bill everyone else for our own taxes instead of actually having income tax. Do it. I was already gonna vote for the man, but do it. Do it. That would be absolutely lovely, Donald Trump, and please, build China for all of our problems. Lovely. Anyway, back to the the fake real-world politics of industrial-era England, where we charge people for charging people. That's not an exaggeration. We charge them fees for having to do paperwork to charge them fees. That's how things work back here. It ain't like we knew something like this would happen. Well, anyway, you have two payment options to settle this time tax debt. Boy, options? What options? It ain't like bags of 10 billion on grow from a tree, isn't it? Option 1, cash payment. Option 2, time payment. Yeah, about that. What's that supposed to mean anyway, paying with time? We basically fucking kill you. It means, oh, the employee who was about to answer our question with painfully observable annoyance suddenly jolted at the sound of an alarm. Understood. I just got a call that they're ready to hold an emergency meeting regarding this incident. Limbus Company may send 2 individuals to the meeting to represent your company. Send Virgilius and Faustin. No need to TikTok and fuss, Dante. Dealing with complicated matters like this meeting is one of my responsibilities. I will be joining them to discuss the possible solutions to this incident, so please keep the sinners under control. Except you, Miss Faust, you're with me. Exactly! He didn't even need to fucking tell me! I knew exactly who was going to be able to do this. Send Virgilius and Faustin. Court adjourned, send in the dancing lobsters. So, boss, you notice how the tax collectors teleport? I didn't actually notice that. Well, they did in the battle, but I didn't see that here. Make another mess while I'm gone, and only Ryoshu will enjoy what comes next. Keep that in mind as you wait. Wow, Vergilius, that's actually... He knows us so well now! Once again, Ryoshu, aroused by the thought that people understand her fetishes now. Look at us, we're developing. You gave her motives. Well, off they go, I guess. Didn't even give us a chance to ask them more questions. They're just leaving us here like this. But isn't this whole mess basically about what happened to us? I mean, yes, but it was also a complication due to what was happening with a complication on a company level here, because they're supposed to be paying for all of these expenses. What we did, we didn't even really understand what we were doing, and also we were under constraints that we were under constraints that we didn't actually fully realize because they were being run by another person. So who's to say that we couldn't make the case here that we would not have activated the command seals had we known it was going to cost us $10 billion to do so. We did not understand, nor were we informed, that there was a time dilation effect over the entire matter. Thus, we should not be held accountable for this, or we should be held accountable at a much reduced fee. We won't do it again, dear God, but still, you can lawyer this up. The Limbus company can send out a couple of lawyers and make this case. So, this isn't anything serious, but what's Bersault doing with doing on the gallows? What is he doing? What? Yeah, what is he... What are you doing? T-Corp don't know about Team Rocket and their doings, so this meeting may or may not finally tip off the head, which would be horrifying, but someone's gotta be told! Basalt, what are you doing up there? I was told to stand here, so I have done so. Who told you to do that? Wait, I did. I did. Just trying to be helpful with you and your friend's little time tax problem. Who the hell are you? I thought all employees were supposed to be at the emergency meeting. Whoa, a clock with legs. How fascinating. If someone were to submit you for consideration at the upcoming expo, you might even be worth our participation trophy. You remind me of the time when some hapless soul submitted a timepiece that doubled as a compass that had a rather tragic and critical design flaw. You could tell the time or find your path, but never both at once. Tell directions or tell time. It was one thing or the other. Leaving you lost in time and stranded in the streets. It was no good, not at all. That's no better than a clock taped to a compass at the end of the day, is it? I see about the reading fast thing, right? Yes, okay. You still wish that this was voice? It'd be rambling on, but actually, you could get someone to talk this fast. But you would actually have to pay them lots of money to talk this fast in Korean. It also would probably sound like nails on a chalkboard speaking Korean that fast. However, I will concede, I like Korean more than I like the sound of Chinese. This is on a personal level, it's not really racist or anything like that. In terms of like Asian languages, Japanese sounds obviously the most pleasing to the ears out of the three. Korean's somewhere in the middle. Chinese, I just do not like the sound of. Reminder, Angela announcer. Yeah, that too. Angela, announcer who yaps even after the battle is over. Oh, right. TT-52 protocol is operating at an experimental capacity within this office space. So don't you forget, anyone not synchronized with the daily standard time might find this a little disorienting, so keep that in mind as well. I'm literally moving faster than you so I can ramble out this exposition faster. Korean I would describe as pleasantly chirpy. I would suppose so. I mean, I suppose I would agree, but that's just my views on the thing. You could probably get someone that, it would probably be incredibly unappeasing to the eels to have someone talk this fast in Korean, but someone could probably do it. What? Now, that's a look of someone who's never once heard of the TT-52 protocol. TT-5-2 protocol, as its name suggests, is an invention to address the temporal efficiency problem present in the TT-4 protocol, without a dash. It's doing test runs in only a few select T-Corp offices, so if you do ever feel the urge to leave your impressions on this new shiny thing, feel free to jot down a few words on that bulletin. Wait a minute, who wrote that 3-star review? Wait a minute, who gave us a negative review on Yelp? What? I'm trying to keep along with talking this fast because I don't know. I'd expect everyone in this general vicinity to have a British accent, and I can kind of get behind that. The man, whom we presume to be a T-Corp staff, seemed very adept at holding a one-sided conversation with zero external input. Not that any of us could keep up with how fast he was speaking, anyway. Anyways, if you're ready, let's get cracking. I am ready. What's going on here? Wait, I don't know if this is really a good idea to be ready for something that looks like the rope extending from the intimidating machine tightened around Mersault's throat. Is this what it means to pay our tax time with time? Getting hanged from the gallows? Please call it by its precise and given name, temporal scale gallows. It measures the exact amount of time you owe and sucks the time right out of you. That wasn't the original name, mind you. There was simply too much hubbub and hullabaloo about its excessively long name, which was approximately 58 words or letters. They literally call it the gallows. Yes. The gallows. Time gallows. Which is exactly what I expected, but that's a funny way of doing it properly. Can someone ask him what'll happen to Mersault? Is that thing going to kill Mersault? Kill him? Nonsense. It's a very gentle machine. That is simply preposterous. However, he may die as a result of exposure to time dilation and having the years of his life drained out of him. That's a secondary thing. The machine doesn't actually cause that. You see, as the human body resumes normal function after being exposed to the machine, it kind of fades to complete dust. But that's not our problem. However, spoken in such a manner, oft portends that events of even greater ill fortune shall befall us. I'm not so sure as to what might happen, actually. I suppose it'll suck 10 billion ons worth of time out of your friend. Stop being obtuse. What is that even supposed to mean? Is he going to be stuck like that for 10 billion hours or something? Huh? Well, not exactly. Let me tell you about T-Corp's particularly generous system called the 4-hour daily minimum time guarantee policy. How generous, Even when worst comes to worst, every citizen is entitled to the right to enjoy a minimum of 4 hours a day. How lovely. According to the T-Corp Public Welfare Council, 4 hours is the absolute minimum number of hours in a day to guarantee human survival. Survive being the key word here. My. Sucking 10 billion and 40 million ons worth of time from your friend was too much. I suppose. Look, it says measurement error. That rarely ever happens. Yeah, it would be too much, thanks. That means your day only lasts 4 hours, but everyone else is going on normally. Yeah, Wait, you pulled the lever when you didn't even know what was going to happen, just out of curiosity? Of course, 10 billion on of time tax debt is a historically unprecedented amount of debt, so I had to see what would happen. You could land first place in a lottery and you still wouldn't even come close to making 10 billion on, and that's before taxes. I'd say you all belong in a museum of history, if I'm being honest. So who is this dumb shit inventor here? Besides, I haven't seen anyone with more than 150 hours of time tax debt willingly step up to the gallows before. Anyone beyond that usually chooses to run and digs themselves into an even deeper hole. The point is, I scarcely expected someone in a 10 billion on time tax hole to just walk up there like that. I mean, he just got up there. How could I pass up this opportunity? This is for science. Think of all the things that we can learn, and he just did it. I told him to get up on the gallows, and the mad lad just did it. Wow. This dumb shit is your NPC for this event. Lovely. What is wrong with this guy? He's clearly eccentric. Awaken, Mersault. Prithee, surrender not to such machinery. I live. Whoa? Thou art unharmed? I am all right. Why don't you get down from the gallows now? For now, Mersault. Why don't you just get down from there? 10 billion and 40 million worth of time. He's going to be so dry, it's like he participated in a masturbation marathon. Thank you, egg roll. But yeah, we don't even know the conversion rate from single on to time. So it's like, so we'd have to, like, what is it, seconds percent? I don't exactly know the conversion rate here, but it would probably instantly fucking kill you and turn your bones to ash. So what's 10 billion seconds? Well, 10 billion 40 million seconds. Very important. Very important we make the distinction here, get the exact right calculations. What's 10 billion 40 million seconds? We need to actually figure out the conversion rate here, but anyway, the adults are back. Virgilius and Faust, who returned just as this incident occurred, were both glaring at us with expressions that were anything but friendly. Look, they did it by... Mersault was just kind of a nice guy. We were listening to the officials. It's the office's problem. Not our fault. Anyway, moving on. Okay, I can clearly see that both of you are accusing me of letting the sinners run wild again, but we had our reasons. We have reached an agreement, and you explain things to them, right? Please tell me that the agreement doesn't involve us collectively dangling from that stupid gallows. 10 billion on is certainly an absurd amount of money, but that doesn't change the fact that we are still responsible for it. We did benefit from the extra time it granted us, and its use was something that wasn't mutually agreed upon before our unilateral activation. Because it was an unexpected event, no countermeasures could be put in place either. Yeah, but we didn't exactly have a whole lot of time to debate whether I was allowed to slow down time or not. He didn't even think he could do it. It just kind of happened. We really had to think on our feet back then. I felt a bit miffed about being treated as though I was somehow at fault for this. If you plan to sacrifice one of us to settle the debt, I request that you evaluate our worth based on individual merit. None of you can die, Otis. I prepared performance evaluation sheets for each sinner precisely for such an occasion. On the last pages of those evaluation sheets are extra opinions that I have determined who to throw off the lifeboat and in what order. Thank you. Thank you, Otis. I don't plan on leaving any of you behind to take the fall for the group. Besides, 10 billion on isn't the kind of money that you can settle with a sacrifice of an individual. But we did eventually find a reasonable compromise while you were wasting your time horsing around in front of the gallows. And that compromise is, we have been contracted to deal with a distortion. Huh? I guess we're really starting to put our names out there if they specifically sought us out to deal with this distortion. Now we're working for the tax office. 1 billion seconds is apparently 31 years. So 10 billion seconds. Yeah, that's, we're on a... Yeah, 300, actually, no, a lot more than that, I think. We're 10 billion, 40 million seconds into there, so, as I expected, you would be dead. They have sought out other fixers and companies to deal with this issue first. We were the 6th choice after the first 5 failed to produce a meaningful result. Well, gotcha. Well, the stories are starting to circulate via word of mouth. I will not deny that. So what kind of distortion are we dealing with this time? This is a request regarding a series of similar unsolved cases within T-Corp's borders. Some call it a mystery. The case of the time-killing time. Huh. Several people have already fallen victim to the perpetrator. Time-killing it's Jack the Ripper, but it's time? Is that what it is now? Case of the time-killing time. I'm stealing all of their money. Time. But money. But time is money, good sir. Time is money, good sir. Time is money. And it takes place in Britain. Yeah, okay, so it's Jack the Ripper, but he's stealing everyone's wallets. Okay. You're about to see what happens when you take all of someone's time. Yeah, I'm assuming they effectively fizzle up into fucking dust. Something probably more horrifying, because that would just be too simple. I know this game, and I know these writers. That's not graphic. Thanos snapping someone into dust is too... It's too tame. They need more violence. No, that's not graphic enough. We need to do more of that. We need to do more than that. It is exactly what it says on the tin. A distortion is running wild, killing our time. Time is an asset here at T-Corp. It is not so difficult for us to track down the it's not so difficult for us to track down the occasional time robberies by tracing it, but in the case of time-killing time, the killer does not leave any traces. It is simply gone, completely removed and untraceable. No such thing has ever happened here before, thus the significance of this case cannot be emphasized enough. It's a murderer who's leaving no evidence. It's more existentially horrific than that. Oh, wonderful. See, I knew being turned into just dust for owing that much time would... No. that's too simple. No, we have to be more graphic than that. We have to inspire more. Jesus Christ, how horrifying. That is why we formally request that you solve this case for us. In return, we will exempt you from your tax time debt. Thus arriveth once again my time to shine. No, Don. You're next. And it's gonna be a hell of a time. According to a book I have perused in recent days, any and all detectives working to solve cases of urban nightmare or beyond are issued this special investigator badge during the course of their employment. 'Tis a badge that may as well be a universal pass to command all kinds of aid regarding the Detectives? Yes. Fixers, but yes. Fixers, yes. See, even I know that. We plan to issue you those badges, yes. Whoa. Much have I longed to add such a badge to my collection. Perchance thou shalt allow us to keep the badges once this case is dealt with. Nay, I demand that I be awarded at least 3 badges, one for my private collection, one for display, one for business, so that, The stranger, yes, Total Biscuit laughs at us from beyond the periph. For all time, he is endless. Shot at last. Right. What are we waiting for? Let's crack on. Whack this distortion and get the hell out of here. I hate dealing with money problems. I value your enthusiasm, but I would also appreciate it if you could allow others to finish their sentence before cutting them off and going on a long tangent of your own. The problem is that they don't want all 13 of you running amok in an effort to solve the case. Yeah, it would be absolutely disastrous. The property damage values would be catastrophic. And indeed, I can't have your entire group run wild in the streets and potentially waste the precious time of our residents. Also, the Special Investigator badge isn't something that T-Corp hands out like candy. We can't give away a whole box of badges for all 13 of them. I concur, to a degree. Otis, who has continuously and constantly suggested that we cut down the number of sitters, was the first one to welcome this offer. Yeah, thanks, narrative. See, even the narrative knows that Otis is being a complete moron. You see, this is why Otis betraying the entire party is just so... You could see it coming, but it's so fucking obvious they can't actually do it. Like, they've been... Like, it's not... It wouldn't even be correct. At this point. Like, you would see it coming, but when it happens, it wouldn't be... It's so not a surprise that no one... It would actually not be, like, an entertaining, diversion to the story. What will probably happen is Otis will attempt to sell us out and fail miserably in that regard, meaning that no one gets sold out, and she's sitting there like an idiot in front of everyone. It's on brand for her, but the problem is it's becoming such a brand that you can't... It's become a joke. It's not going to be serious when it happens. So what I'm expecting to happen is Otis is so fucking incompetent that she will attempt to sell the party out later on down the line and fail miserably at doing so. I got work early in the morning, so I'll leave you with this not spoiler. We are either working for the dumbest people in existence or the smartest profiteers in history. Probably kind of both. We should have done something like this long ago. What use is there in hauling around these dead weights? We will leave the useless pawns behind to wait in the bus while the elite team of high-performing individuals takes care of business, which isn't you. You seem rather confident that you'd be part of that elite team of high-performing individuals, Otis. It's ridiculous to even suggest otherwise. All right, enough with your nonsense. So, how many of us are allowed to work on this case anyway? Virgilius trailed off, clearly unhappy about this outcome. They have decided that 4 individuals, including the manager, is an appropriate amount of people allowed to partake in this investigation. That's not a lot. Accepted. We barely managed to get the authorization for 4 after much debate. Then you have wasted your breath. A tag team of the executive manager and I will be more than enough to handily complete this mission. You see, she's obviously trying to betray us, but this would be the point where, once again, the fan base wants to fuck Otis. This is clearly a Dojin plot. Again, she's way too eager to get us alone. Which you could take one of 2 ways, because I've seen a fiction. I have seen a fiction in my time. This could either be an attempt to get us killed or the start of a Dojin plot. One or the other. It's either intrigue or porn. This is where we usually get these things. Otis is hot. When certain people draw her, yes. Right, so it all comes down to my choice, huh? 3 sinners. So many eyes upon me. Not that I've ever had them all look at me at the same time before, but the pressure is on a completely different level when it comes to making judgment calls like this, which is why I'm not actually making it, and Vergilius and Faust have already unilaterally decided that it's going to be Honglu, Ryoshu, and Rhodia. Looks like the manager is deep in thought, but pointlessly agonizing over something like this is a waste of time. I'm taking volunteers first, so let's see some hands, quickly now. Forsooth, I shan't hesitate before such excellent opportunity. That immediately discounted. End of story. Moving on. Maybe it's finally my time to shine. Oh wait, don't even need to ask me. All right, let's get on with it. Oh, nah, that wasn't. I'm not raising my hand. I'm just cleaning my glasses. This is no simple matter. I've not been with so few sinners before, except for that one time when we accidentally walked out to the outskirts through the back door. So I have to take this slow and really consider all possible angles. What a mess. It would be too much trouble for me to list and debate all the arbitrary limitations they set, so allow me to make the choice for you this time, Dante. Well, I don't think there's too big of a gap between them when it comes to their capabilities, but they all excel in different situations, and once again, the choice is being made, and I'm just sitting here thinking like a moron. Dante, are you listening? I just said that I will be the one to choose your companions. No, I need to consider more than just their individual capabilities. Some of them work better when paired together, but it's also true that haphazardly pairing them together might end up making the team less than the sum of its parts. This is all about building team synergy. Wait, didn't Rhodia say something about how people born in December and August don't mesh well together? And Phonto builds a team around Don Quixote, live and in person. I'm being called out. It's funny that I decided to do that now and walk into this. Yes, considering all of the angles for building a team. It's rather funny that I actually started to try and play the game well, and now we have Dante trying to play the game well. Man, I'm unintentionally totally within lockstep with this game. Funny that. The sinners who will accompany Dante to solve this case are: I have to choose someone who can support me, calmly assess the situation, and remain free from biased judgment while making smart, rational decisions on the fly. Sinners who fit that description are... Do we even have anyone like that? Wait, rational decisions? Wait, rational decisions without smart... That doesn't qualify a single person here! I mean, Ish, yes, but also the whole lake thing kind of put Ish in a corner where she can totally not be sensible. So, I still have to choose someone, though. Damn it, I've got it. I choose Faust, Mersault, and Yisang. That would actually probably have worked. Rodion, Ryoshu, and Honglu. Okay, explain this one. Huh? I mean, my choice is pretty sensible, but apparently somebody else had a funny idea. That would be too boring. That would just be too boring to read. That was probably it. Dante's assumption here would most likely have been like the first choice, because all of those people are competent. However, they're also boring. They have no. They're so even-handed. They're basically not fucking people half the time. That would be too easy. No, we needed wacky, zany, and violent. Dante has selected me, Mersault, and Yisang. Haven't you been listening, Dante? I have certain things to discuss with Miss Faust regarding our upcoming journey, so she is not an option. Yisang was immediately ruled out even before the meeting adjourned due to his history of developing an unauthorized invention at T-Corp. Mersault did not volunteer. Mersault didn't even sign up! There was no reason to volunteer. You already had people. Though I may have been may have been disallowed from joining this investigation. I am truly grateful for your appreciation, Dante. I shan't soon forget this. Wait, that's, Hey, Otis, you know that's not at all what I meant. I just thought that maybe we needed some skill and experience. Someone skilled and experienced like you to effectively manage the remaining sinners while we're... okay. I really soured the mood, didn't I? Otis will remember this. Otis didn't like that. Otis will remember that. However, unfortunately, Walking Dead notification appears in the corner. Yeah, that would have been a fun joke to have up there. But, you know, at the end of the day, what does Otis expect to get with her attitude of literally trying to, oh, not even, conceitedly doing it, because conceited would imply some kind of hidden motive. She's doing this shit out in the open, where she's trying to basically betray or double-cross people in the party out in the open. What did she expect? Us to find it endearing? Some of us do, but still. The three of them, whom I didn't even imagine in my wildest dreams would be hanging out together, all turn and look in my direction. Whoa, just the three of us, huh? A trio is such an eye-catching number, isn't it? Rhodia, I get, but why'd the two of you volunteer? Why, exactly? I thought it sounded fa. Sinclair? I'm assuming it's fun. Thing is, this is lowering our guard because she's being silly. And then she will backstab us in the way that hurts the most. At the perfect moment. Fun as hell. Ah, yes. Thank you, audience. I may not need Sinclair's interpretation. The greater the quantity and diversity of experience, the better it is. I would disagree with that one, but we're clearly having a disaster trio here. God, Don Quixote is dejected. Honglu is just having fun. Yes, Honglu is just there. Having his, Ken Barbie moment there, I guess. Probably less dark than that, but that's just it. Honglu is just being Ken. Don Quixote tragically drops her head to the ground, crestfallen. Don, we'll get to you. I have naught else to blame but my slightly lower vertical placement in this world. Indeed. That must be why Sir Virgilius has failed to catch mine impassionate hand. I was too short and low-born. Drat. Don, we'll get to you. Oh, we will get to you. Don Quixote sobbed, dramatically lamenting how Virgilius did not even bat an eye in her direction, despite her being the first one to raise her hand. We all know why. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the only reason he didn't pick her, though. 'Tis my final legacy to bestow upon thee. What's all this? A book? A magnifying glass? And these clothes? Oh, no. Don had all... It was going to be Don's fake mustache. Oh. 'Tis my treasure, my collection. Prithee, be gentle with them. Oh, but why are you carrying around these sets of clothing? Why are you carrying around this stuff, Don? Oh, wait, no. Don, circus. Costumes. Clowns. No, that makes sense. One for my private collection, one for display, and one for business, verily. It is not obvious to thee. Oh, good lord. Records of Investigation, Solutions to the 13 Problems by Agatha Christie. Huh, somebody's autographed it. Agatha Christie exists in this world, I'm assuming? Agatha Christie is a fucking fixer? Interesting. Who is this Agatha? Fine, how art ye all so ignorant in the lore of fixers? Agatha Christie is a fucking fixer. Okay, that's funny as hell. Once she was a grade 1 fixer who was so prolific that she may as well have been the face of the 7 Association. We even get a fucking association! Watch her show up in the next event, given the murder on Warp Express. Oh, good lord. Not only did we name Agatha Christie a fucking fixer, we also put her in an association. You guys are nerds, you know that? I love this story, but wow, you guys are book nerds, you know that? Good lord. Truly, no one? I mean, I knew who Agatha Christie is, not that I pretend to know everything about her works, but famous mystery novel writer, yes. That's a Chekhov's gun if I ever saw one. Yeah, she exists in the fucking warp train, surrounded by other famous authors, which would be absolutely hilarious. This is like Recreators in reverse. Except everyone has fucking superpowers, not just the people who, you know, that were invented with superpowers. Most people don't know those lore, Don Quixote. Yeah, most people don't know the lore. Very sad. Don, it may be somewhat of a... it may be somewhat of a surprise. However, unfortunately, not everyone reads the item descriptions in Dark Souls games. Not everyone reads the item descriptions in games like Elden Ring. It's very sad. Cumbersome clothes. How wilt thou call thyself an ace detective when not dressed appropriately for the occasion? Here, 'tis only right that the leading ace detective adorn her countenance with this special mustache. Her admittance? Adorn her admittance. I mean, I suppose that's a way of putting physical form. I admit I exist, but here's this funny mustache. Oh, okay. We're just throwing words out there, but okay. We're gonna have plenty of funny Don Quixote-isms going into Chapter 7, let me tell you. Look, Lady Agatha says in the foreword of this book that any self-respecting ace detective must always dress themselves in impeccable fashion. Don Quixote just let go. Greg, that's an awful thing to tell anyone on this bus. That is an absolutely awful, pointless, futile thing to tell anyone on this bus. Heathcliff? No, anyone, just let go, no. That is an invalid statement if I've ever heard one describing literally everyone on this bus. Just let go. No, yeah, no. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone has their reasons, but how come you didn't get picked for this, Ishmael? Didn't get picked. I never volunteered. We were expecting that one, but she needs a break. Hey, it's not every day you get a legitimate chance to get some free paid time off without breaking company rules, and I wasn't about to let that chance slip. I mean, that is also smart as well. Ish says, yeah, know what, I get free time off. It's great. Yo, I'm taking that option. Well, I can see at least Hong Lu is gonna take up the detective outfit without a problem. That is unsurprising as fuck. Rhodia may be second in line just to be funny. I'm not sure exactly how they're getting Ryoshu into that, though. I guess I did have some last-minute regrets when I saw who Vergilius picked, but I'll relax for a bit and then jump in to help them out when it's needed. Yeah, we'll save their asses later. I need a rest, though. Well, good luck while the... Call us the Elite Four. How's that? Rhodey, shut up! That I didn't expect, but this is no time for Pokemon references. While the self-proclaimed Elite Four runs around T-Corp, why don't we find a place to take the edge off and unwind? Yeah, let's hit the bar. How unfortunate. T-Corp did not authorize the rest of the sinners to run about unmonitored. You must understand that we simply cannot let individuals responsible for 10 billion ons worth of time tax roam free without proper collateral. Looks like they have temporary lodgings for those who have failed to pay their tax time. Oh, you go to the fucking debitors prison. Great. Vergilius was pointing at what was clearly a jail cell. Had we known that, we probably would have been, some people probably would have been a little bit more, probably would have been a little bit more forthcoming about the volunteering. Are you certain this is the lodging, this is the lodging guide? Yeah, welcome to the debitors prison. I'm going to jail? Yes, you're going to jail. Jailed for time crimes. Cue the fucking Time Squad theme song. Yep, as living collaterals, apparently. It'll be fun. Hey, betcha you'll look fondly back at this memory when it's all said and done, Kay? We'll be right back, so be nice and stay put. Welcome to Limbus Company, where choosing not to do the clearly bad option leads to an even worse option. Yep, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Nice, this jail cell at least has some heating. Wait, what happens if they just leave and don't come back? We'll be seeing them again after 10 billion ons worth of time passes, I guess. What? How did she get into that? Why did she? We're not even gonna explain that one yet, huh? Yes, you're all being abandoned. Heath has already gone to sleep. Heath has already sleep. Hey, wait, get back here. That's more than enough time. That's more than enough time to finish weaving on the loom. Calm down, all right? We'll be back for you even... Thou shalt return triumphantly as a glorious band of ace detectives, mark my words! Hey, guys, did you know the Ace Attorney games are actually on sale right now? Just out of nowhere? They're actually on sale on Steam right now as a funny fucking diversion, incidentally. What a funny coinkadink that one is, but yeah, just, We set off on our journey after receiving the aforementioned Special Investigator badges, leaving the chaotic screaming and hollering of the remaining sinners behind. After a while, all we could hear was the sad, intermittent clattering of metal as someone violently shook the steel bars. Why contain it? Let it spill over into the streets. The sound they'll make rattling their cages will serve as a warning to the rest. Also, now that I think about it, you could honestly, I think what you could do is you could take an image of, right, yeah, no. You could take the image of Don Quixote crying in the jail cell and just jailed for Twitter crimes, or jailed for X crimes. And I don't mean X as in the website, I mean in blank crimes. That one's also exploitable. Thank you, art team. That one was from the art team, not the writing staff, the art team. Though the writing staff did assist with that one. Might want to go back and grab that one as well. All right, looks like everyone's ready then. Let's get a move on and have a little chat with the third victim. Let's see. The case records say that, aha, there it is. It's just a stone's throw away. Huh? Huh? What do you mean, huh? Look at the records. It clearly states that neither of the first two victims is in a communicative state. How unfortunate. They're all dead. Well, effectively dead. No, I mean, why are you coming along with this? I'm sorry, but we're not taking sidekick applications right now. Go away, shoot. Incorrect. One of us will be joining your team. We were going to send an employee with you so that we can receive immediate updates regarding your investigation progress. And everyone wants that guy out of the office anyway. Pull that stick out of your ass. I mean, you know, the half-coat look here for Ryoshu is actually that's actually working there. The cloak here is actually working. I mean, yes, the hat and mustache is you know, just objectively silly, as is the pipe there, but, you know, maybe you should experiment with that look, Ryoshu. Maybe that could go somewhere. We plan to send a Class 2 staff with you, but you're... me, Class 5, see the badge? The chatterbox of an employee replied cheerfully as he produced a twinkling badge from his clothes. I apologize for failing to recognize you, sir. I scarcely expected to see a Class 5 auditor at all the way down here. That guy's a Class 5 staff? Really? Class 5 is the highest rank one could reach as a wing employee, right? Yeah, I thought so too. He's a high-rank operative, which means he's probably blitheringly insane or highborn. Probably both. Well, don't be so sure. It depends on which wing you're talking about. Who knows? Maybe there are Class 12 or even Class 20 employees out there. That would be hell for bookkeeping. Get it? Got it? Good. Let's get a move on. We stared in silent bafflement at the employee who had already stormed out of the building, then hurriedly followed him out the door. And he downplays it. Yeah, probably suspect. Who says that you, sir, you are Jack the Ripper? Isn't it absolutely brilliant? The very concept of killing time. They're not slowing down or speeding up time, they're eliminating it completely, just yanking it out of circulation. They're burning money? So your name is... what? Relax, you can call me however you want. Names are such unimportant things, are there? Why my? That's probably an acronym, but why my? No, names matter. Really? You never call anyone by their names, though. Yeah, Ryoshu doesn't... Yeah, what? Relax and call you however we want, but you're obviously here to be our handler. That's true. That does make things a tad awkward, doesn't it? Let me think. Aha, I've got it. You're all dressed like detectives, so why don't you consider me your ever-helpful assistant who tags along to your adventures? That's a title, not a name. Okay, but still, Ryoshu, who was staring off into the distance while puffing her cigarette, that's a pipe, suddenly spoke up just as Rhodia was about to retort. Assistant, lead us. Right away, ma'am. Okay, Ryoshu assesses the theatrics and then immediately plays two of them. Yeah, it's Ryoshu. What's the difference between an assistant and a servant? You know, my family used to employ... They sure warmed up to him fast. Too fast, but that's just the plot here. Huh. Again, why did she agree to that? She seems so resistant, but I guess we're not gonna get into that. But alright, ladies and gentlemen, as short as that is, I think that's gonna have to be it, because it's almost midnight already. So I'll be back to play the event. We'll finish the event here, and I'll be grinding here, you know, in a corner. But I also need to get to a better combat encounter, since grinding this one is probably gonna be absolutely awful. So we'll be back here probably by Sunday. We'll see if we're running armor tomorrow. I haven't heard of anything. But, before we go, gambling. Also, let's make those now, because we know there's a dungeon at the end of this. Gambling. I'll probably have enough lunacy back by the time we get through this, but gambling. Lots of 2 stars. Any surprise mechanics in there? Absolutely none! Amazing. And what's one more? Yep. All right, there's your 11 pull for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. And actually, well, it's 12 pull because we did do it. We actually no, I did do one when I started. The free pull. All right, there's your 12 pull. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I don't have the currently meta identities, because my luck's that shit. However, I'll recover. We're gonna be playing this game a lot more, and I'll probably be able to get a hold of other IDs. But well, you see me going on with with the Don Quixote build, and that looks like that's going somewhere. We'll see about Bride Faust here, which looks like an interesting ego. And that really does look like an FGO animation. So yeah, I see what people are saying. But so, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it for tonight's show. What's your ego shard count at? Absolutely fucking terrible! Thank you for asking. Yeah, so, none. I got ish shards. I have no idea where I got that many from, but I got ish shards. So, yeah, that, we might work up to that with like 400 ego shards if I get a million gorillion ego shards. And not too bad, I expected worse. Yeah, I started building up a little bit. The Don Quixote ones are gonna be, for upgrading her, basically all the egos that I have for her, because she's gonna be used. She will be used. It will be her base identity used, which alleviates some things, but she will be used. So she of all people, needs to be in peak physical condition for the absolute horrifying suffering that's going to be her chapter. So that one is seeing that, making sure that the blood of Sancho is up tie 4 first is probably going to be the easiest thing to do. Everyone else, yeah, we'll get to that. He's in prison for this event though. Right, I can't. You're right. I have to build a team around Rodion, Ryoshu, and Honglu. Interesting. Yeah, I need to go think about that one. But anyway, folks, that's the show for this evening. I will see you all tomorrow. Good night, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Later, mysteries. Many, many mysteries.